Most people spend their entire lives trying to change their results, without ever realizing that results are only the final layer of a much deeper system. They change strategies, habits, jobs, and routines, yet they remain stuck in the same emotional patterns and the same life outcomes. The reason is simple but powerful. Your life is not controlled by your goals, your plans, or even your actions. Your life is controlled by your identity. The story you tell yourself about who you are becomes the invisible force that shapes every decision you make. To think about it for a moment. If someone believes they are shy, they will unconsciously avoid situations where they might have to speak confidently. If someone believes they are unlucky, they will see every challenge as proof that life is against them. And if someone believes they are not capable of success, they will sabotage opportunities even when success is within reach. The world does not respond to what you wish to become. It responds to who you believe you already are, but there is something even more powerful than identity itself. It is something that controls your identity in real time, something that can instantly change how you think, how you feel, and how you act. This powerful force is called your state. Your state is the emotional and mental condition you are in at any given moment. When you are in a confident state, problems feel like challenges you can solve. When you are in a fearful state, the same problems feel overwhelming. When you are in an inspired state, creativity flows effortlessly. But when you are in a stressed state, your mind feels blocked and powerless. This means that your state is not just an emotion, it is the gateway to your entire potential. The problem is that most people let their state be controlled by circumstances. If something good happens, they feel happy. If something bad happens, they feel discouraged. Their emotions become a reaction to life instead of a tool to shape it. But highly successful people operate differently. They have learned a powerful skill that most people never develop. They have learned how to control their state intentionally. When they need energy, they create energy. When they need confidence, they activate confidence. When they need focus, they enter a focused state instantly. They don't wait for motivation. They create it, and the most powerful part of this process is that when you consistently control your state, you begin to reshape your identity. Instead of saying, "I hope I become confident one day," you begin to experience confidence repeatedly until your brain starts to accept a new identity. You no longer see yourself as someone trying to change. You start seeing yourself as someone who already has, and there is one powerful tool that can help you shift your identity faster than almost anything else. But before we reveal that tool, you must first understand why identity change is so difficult for most people. Changing your identity sounds simple in theory. You might think that all you need to do is decide to become a different person. But if it were that easy, everyone would transform their lives overnight. The truth is that your brain is designed to protect your current identity. Even if that identity is limiting you, your mind creates something psychologists call an identity comfort zone. This comfort zone is a mental boundary that keeps your behavior aligned with the person you believe you are. If your identity says you are not disciplined, your brain will resist disciplined actions. If your identity says you are not confident, your brain will resist confident behavior. It does this because your brain values consistency more than improvement. Consistency feels safe. Change feels uncertain. That is why people often return to old habits even after making progress. Someone may start exercising, eating healthy, and feeling motivated. But if their identity still says, "I'm not a healthy person," eventually they drift back to their old lifestyle. This is also why people sabotage success. Imagine someone who suddenly earns more money than they ever have before. If their identity says, "I'm bad with money," they might unconsciously overspend or make poor financial decisions until they return to a level that feels familiar. Your identity is like a thermostat controlling your life. If success pushes your life temperature higher than your identity setting, your brain will automatically bring it back down. But here is the empowering truth. You can change the thermostat. And the fastest way to do that is not by forcing new behaviors. It is by repeatedly entering powerful, emotional states that align with the identity you want. Because when you experience a state strongly enough, your brain records it as evidence of who you are. For example, If you repeatedly create a state of confidence before speaking, your brain begins associating speaking with confidence instead of fear. Eventually, your identity shifts from "I'm nervous when speaking" to "I'm someone who speaks with confidence." This is why elite athletes, top performers, and world-class leaders spend so much time training their state of mind. They know that success is not just about skill. It is about who you become while using that skill. But there is still one question left. How do you actually create a powerful state whenever you need it? This is where the powerful tool comes in. The most powerful tool for shifting your state is something surprisingly simple, yet incredibly effective. It is a technique used by elite performers, athletes, and world-class speakers. This tool is called physiology control. Your physiology is the way you use your body, your posture, breathing, facial expression, and movement. Most people believe emotions create body language, but the truth is that the relationship works both ways. Your body can also create your emotions. When you feel confident, you stand tall, breathe deeply, and move with energy. But if you intentionally adopt those same physical patterns, your brain begins to produce the emotions associated with them. This means you can change how you feel before your mind even catches up. Think about the difference between these two physical states. In one state, a person is slouched forward, breathing shallowly, looking down at the floor and barely moving. In another state, a person stands tall, shoulders back, breathing deeply, eyes focused forward and moving with energy. These two states produce completely different emotions. One creates weakness, the other creates power. Your brain constantly reads signals from your body to determine how you should feel. If your body signals weakness, your brain produces fear. If your body signals strength, your brain produces confidence. This is why athletes jump, shout, and move intensely before competitions. They are not just warming up their muscles. They are activating a powerful emotional state. You can use the same principle in your daily life. Before an important meeting, change your posture. Take deep breaths. Move your body with energy. Speak with strength even if no one else is around. Within minutes, your emotional state will shift. But physiology is only the first layer of this powerful tool. The second layer involves something even more powerful: focus. Where your focus goes, your emotional energy flows. If you focus on everything that could go wrong, your brain creates fear. If you focus on opportunities, your brain creates excitement. Your brain is constantly searching for evidence to support whatever you focus on. That means if you deliberately train your focus toward empowering thoughts, your emotional state will change instantly. When you combine powerful physiology with intentional focus, something incredible begins to happen. Your state changes rapidly, and when you consistently enter powerful states, your identity begins to evolve. You no longer feel like someone who is trying to become confident, disciplined, or successful. You start to feel like someone who already is, and that is when the real transformation begins. Once you understand that identity controls behavior and state controls identity, the next question becomes simple. How do you actually shift your identity in a lasting way? The answer lies in a powerful formula used by high performers around the world. This formula is simple but incredibly effective. It works because it aligns your actions, emotions, and beliefs into one powerful direction. The identity shift formula works like this: state, actions, evidence, identity. Everything begins with your state. When you enter a powerful emotional state, confidence, certainty, determination, you automatically take stronger actions. Those stronger actions produce better results, and those results create evidence for your brain that you are becoming a different person. Your brain constantly asks one silent question: who am I? And it answers that question using evidence from your past experiences. If most of your past experiences involve hesitation, fear, or failure, your brain builds an identity around those experiences. But when you start creating new experiences, moments where you act with courage, confidence, and determination, you begin feeding your brain new evidence. Over time, your identity slowly updates. This is why one powerful decision, taken in the right emotional state, can completely change the direction of someone's life. It creates a moment of evidence that the brain cannot ignore. The key is repetition. When powerful states become a daily habit, the identity shift becomes permanent. One of the most famous personal development strategies in the world comes from motivational strategist Tony Robbins. He often says something incredibly powerful. Emotion is created by motion. What he means is that your emotional state is directly influenced by the way you move your body. Watch any world-class performer before they step on stage. They rarely walk slowly and quietly. Instead, they move with energy. They jump, stretch, breathe deeply, and speak with intensity. They are not waiting to feel confident. They are creating confidence physically. This method works because your nervous system responds instantly to movement. When you breathe deeply, expand your chest, and move your body with energy, your brain releases chemicals that increase focus, motivation, and confidence. This is why athletes pump their fists after scoring a goal or winning a point. That movement amplifies their emotional state. You can apply this same strategy in your everyday life. Before an important conversation, before recording a video, before making a big decision, change your physiology first. Stand tall. Take deep breaths. Move with purpose. Within seconds, your brain begins shifting into a stronger emotional state. The more you practice this process, the faster it becomes. Eventually, you can switch your state in moments. And when you control your state, you control the direction of your life. One of the most famous personal development strategies in the world comes from motivational strategist Tony Robbins. He often says something incredibly powerful. Emotion is created by motion. What he means is that your emotional state is directly influenced by the way you move your body. Watch any world-class performer before they step on stage. They rarely walk slowly and quietly. Instead, they move with energy. They jump, stretch, breathe deeply, and speak with intensity. They are not waiting to feel confident. They are creating confidence physically. This method works because your nervous system responds instantly to movement. When you breathe deeply, expand your chest, and move your body with energy, your brain releases chemicals that increase focus, motivation, and confidence. This is why athletes pump their fists after scoring a goal or winning a point. That movement amplifies their emotional state. You can apply this same strategy in your everyday life. Before an important conversation, before recording a video, before making a big decision, change your physiology first. Stand tall. Take deep breaths. Move with purpose. Within seconds, your brain begins shifting into a stronger emotional state. The more you practice this process, the faster it becomes. Eventually, you can switch your state in moments. And when you control your state, you control the direction of your life. Identity change is not created by one moment of inspiration. It is created by daily rituals. Successful people build routines that intentionally shift their emotional state every single day. A powerful morning ritual might include movement, deep breathing, visualization, and gratitude. These practices activate your nervous system and prepare your mind for high performance. When you begin your day in a powerful state, you make stronger decisions throughout the day. Think of your emotional state like the steering wheel of your life. If you grab the wheel early, you control the direction. But if you leave it unattended, your circumstances will control it for you. One of the most powerful parts of a daily ritual is visualization. When you close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself performing with confidence, achieving your goals and overcoming challenges, your brain begins forming neural patterns that mirror real experiences. Your mind cannot fully distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. This means visualization allows you to rehearse your future identity before it even exists. Real identity change happens on 3 levels. The first level is behavior change. This is where most people start. They try to change habits, routines, or actions. The second level is belief change. Here, people begin questioning the limiting beliefs that have shaped their lives. But the deepest and most powerful level is identity change. This is where someone stops saying, "I want to become successful," and starts saying, "I am the kind of person who creates success." When identity shifts at this level, behavior changes automatically. A healthy person doesn't struggle to eat healthy, they naturally choose foods that support their lifestyle. A disciplined person doesn't constantly fight procrastination, they simply act. Your brain always tries to stay consistent with the identity it believes is true. That means once you adopt a new identity, your actions start aligning with it almost effortlessly. There is one technique that combines everything we have discussed so far into a single, powerful process. It involves 3 steps. Step 1. Change your physiology immediately. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and move your body with intensity. Step 2. Change your focus. Direct your mind toward empowering thoughts, possibilities, and solutions rather than problems. Step 3. Change your language. The words you use internally shape your emotional experience. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I will figure this out." Instead of saying, "This is a problem," say, "This is a challenge that will make me stronger." Language acts like a command system for your brain. When you combine physiology, focus, and language, your state changes almost instantly. And once you master this process, you gain something incredibly powerful: emotional control. At the end of the day, transformation is not about chasing success. It is about becoming a different version of yourself. Every great achievement in history began with someone shifting their identity before the world recognized it. Before the world sees you as confident, you must see yourself that way first. Before the world sees you as successful, you must start acting like the person who creates success. Your state is the gateway to that transformation. When you master your state, you gain the ability to step into the strongest version of yourself whenever you choose. And when you consistently operate from that powerful state, your identity begins to evolve naturally. The person you used to be slowly fades away. A stronger, more focused, more confident version of you begins to take its place. Your actions become bolder. Your decisions become clearer. Your standards rise. And eventually, the life you once imagined becomes the life you are living. Because the moment you shift your identity, you don't just change how you think, you change who you are becoming.